What's going on? Oh, Jesus. What's going on, my homie fam dogs, home/fam/ whatever gonna call you, dude? Can I do my intro? What's going on, my homie fam dogs, home/fam/ whatever gonna call you guys? And today we're here with the Marvel Rivals balance post. Now, I feel like this is a weird font. I don't think they used to use this font. But anyways, yeah, I'm recording this right after I recorded my reaction to the dev vision. Yes, I still have my soup. Don't judge me. But yeah, in this update, the pace of ultimates is slowing down for everyone. I think this could be interesting. Me personally, I play Rivals. I like Rivals for whatever it is, basically. But I will say, the quickness, sometimes you be like, yo, they got ult already, dog. But yeah, the pace of ultimates is slowing down for everyone, so expect more calculated clashes and less ult spam moments. People have been asking for this. Now, I'm not necessarily one of them, but I am curious to see how this works. The charge rate for ultimate abilities has been nerfed across the board. Our aim is to keep the core combat fun and dynamic while dialing back the rapid fire ultimates. This will lower the baseline strength of triple strategist compositions without compromising the core combat experience. Based on gain data, around 80% of ultimate ability charge comes from either damage or healing conversion. Duh. If you're just sitting around, you're not gonna get ult charge. So yeah, that makes sense. That sounds about right to me. That means the charge rate reduction is nearly equal for Vanguards, Duelists, and Strategists, about a 20% drop across the board. Vanguards and Duelists reduce damage to energy conversion from 90% to 70%. Yeah, that is 20%. Reduce passive ult regeneration from 12 to 11. I feel like you feel that less. Strategists reduce, the healing conversion from 90% to 75%, but they're getting a huge hit to their passive ult charge more. Interesting. So time to plan your ults, not just spam them. To be fair, I wasn't one of those guys, that's just me. But anyways, Vanguard, Angela. Heaven sent pressure, grounded precision. Angela is fiercer on the ground, but less pesky in flight. But then again, to be fair, some people might hate this because it's like Angela's a flying Vanguard. Why take away the thing that she's unique for? In my opinion, Angela's annoying. But I think the shield nerf actually did wonders. So in my opinion, whatever. Her ult and ability damage and control have been slightly hit. So, reduce Seraphic Sword's attack charge to Spear of Ichor's conversion from 45 to 35%. Increase bonus damage at full charge from 15 to 20. So I'm gonna assume that's when you're like super fast in flight. And so when you're fast in flight, you get the charge. So it's gonna charge a little slower, but it's gonna do more damage. Cool. Increase shielded stance damage to charge conversion from 25 to 35. Now this, I have no idea. I guess if you shield on Angela, you get charge as well. So, okay, that's interesting. Increase assassin charge cooldown from 3. Whoa, they doubled her cooldown. Wow. Reduce max recharge time from 10 to 8. Wow, that's, oof. That's, oof. Increase access of Ichor's bonus health to self from 40 to 50. Okay. And 20 to 25 for allies after landing Divine Judgment. Okay, so basically that's her axes. If you actually land and hit people with your axe, you get bonus health yourself. And when you're using it in your ult, you give, actually, well, not even your ult, but when you land, allies around you also get the bonus health. So that's basically what that is. So increase Heaven's Retribution ult ability spear throw damage from 10 to 40. Goodness. But reduce the spear health by like 150. So 800 to 650. Okay, so it's gonna do more damage on hit, but you'll be able to destroy it easily. 800 was crazy, by the way. Now Cap, now a little smoother when running up on your left. Cap's shield work also gets smoother during sprints, but his ults get a little less energy. When leading dash is set to toggle, Cap's last 4 ranged sentinel strike shield throws won't be interrupted by leading dash. Sorry, I had to take like a quick thought process because isn't that a Cap nerf? Let me check in on that. Leading dash is his run. That's what I thought. Isn't that a Cap nerf? Because the whole thing with Cap, you animation cancel his run with his shield throw, but now it won't be interrupted by leading dash. So you can't interrupt it, because that seems like just like an accidental, like almost like nerf. Like that hurts him pretty bad, I feel like. Reduce the ultimate energy charge effect by 10%. Ooh, wow, Cap. Ooh, man, Cap. Deadpool, tank pool. The hardiest merc takes a breath. Survivability and ult frequency are slightly nerfed. Reduce Deadpool in your area. Damage reduction from 40% to 30%. Ouch. 10% hurts. Increase ult ability cooldown from 45 to a minute. Woof. I think Deadpool will still be pretty good, but that hurts. That hurts. But everybody's ult is getting... I think his ult will still come up faster than probably anybody else's. We'll just have to wait and see though, because a minute is... Oof. A minute in Rivals usually is forever, but I don't know. Rivals will feel like probably a completely different game in season 7, knowing with these changes. Doctor Strange, the shin bends slightly. His shield gets nerfed from 800 to 700. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. Against Punishers and stuff, that's gonna hurt bad. We're gonna be breaking that shield easily. But Diamond Hard choices. Deadlier payoffs. The White Queen's damage form, Diamond form, dims a bit, but Emma's ult shines brighter. Reduce her damage reduction from 25% to 20%. Yikes. Another Diamond 4 damage reduction. Adjust Psionic Seduction. Damage fall off at 30 meters from 50 to 70. Wow, that's gonna do a little bit more damage at range. Gain 20% damage reduction during it. I like that though. I don't know if Emma's Diamond form needed another nerf. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. You guys tell me. But the damage reduction during the ult is going to be crazy. That's gonna help out a lot. Hulk. Puny cooldowns. The big green disruptor is even better at charging his ult smash of style. Increase indestructible guard absorb damage to ultimate ability charge conversion rate from 100% to 130. Nice. Okay. Gamma burst gains 2 charges, each with a 6-second cooldown. Reduce single hit damage from 75 to 65. Reduce Gamma Burst cooldown after each use from 6 to 2 seconds. Gamma Burst is his clap. Okay, so you can clap twice now. That's gonna be nice. Pause. But you can clap twice now, 2 seconds apart. But once you use both, it's gonna be on a 6-second combined cooldown. So it's basically like Cloak and Dagger's thingamajig. That's good for Hulk. That's gonna probably feel really nice. And I'm pretty sure his clap reduces cooldowns too, so that's gonna be real nice. Magneto, Master of Magnetism, Master of the Lane. Magneto gets slightly tougher in lane pressure and deadlier with his ult. Increase Metal Bulwark cooldown from 12 to 15, ouch, but reduce the Iron Bulwark cooldown from 12 to 10 seconds. I'm trying to think. Metal Bulwark, I want to say, is Magneto's shield, and then Iron Bulwark is his bubble. Okay, interesting. No, Metal Bulwark is his shield, his bubble on allies. Iron Bulwark is his bubble on himself. So that's interesting. So he can protect himself more often, but in exchange, he can protect allies less often. Interesting. Increase his ultimate projectile speed from 30 to 45. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's like a 50% speed increase. That's gonna be nice. Black Panther, Wakanda forever and faster. No, don't make him faster. T'Challa's agility is off the charts. No cooldowns for jumping after detaching for a wall. Remove the cooldown on the second jump. I thought that was gonna be a bigger change, but you know what? Honestly, why did he have a cooldown on the jump regardless? But you know, cool. I'm fine with that. I'm the #1 dive hater, but that's cool with me. Blade. No funerals for the Daywalker. Blade's up close damage is boosted and his ranged attacks are slightly snappier. Interesting Blade. Man, I feel like Blade is kind of underrated, but like I feel like he's also just outshined. He's literally like actually power crept. So let's see what they do. Increase Hunter's shotgun projectile speed from 150 to 180. That's gonna be quick. That's gonna be quick. Increase Ancestral Sword attack range from 4.5 to 5 meters. That's gonna be a little bit nice. So one's more of a quality of life. The other one, ooh, that's actually gonna change a lot. You might feel like more like a hit scan now. Closer to it at least. Bloodline Awakening, new effect. Excess lifesteal now grants bonus health. Max 75 conversion rate 50%. Increase lifesteal ratio from 60. Blade, when he's using his sword, dog, when he's using his sword, is gonna be hard to kill, dude. 1000-fold slash ultimate ability, new effect. Lifesteal effect now works without switching to Bloodline Awakening, and also converts to bonus health. Increase healing reduction to enemies from 20 to 40%. That's insane. With the changes to the ults, enemies are going to get healed almost half as much when they get hit by. That's gonna hurt. Blade's gonna hurt, bro. Maybe this will finally give Blade the spotlight he needs, because he's supposed to be like the cool little anti-heal, whatever the heck. Blade's probably gonna like wreak havoc on tanks, especially because tanks need healing a lot. Dog, Blade hits you with his ult, dog, you're going to die. Interesting. Okay. Daredevil. The devils in the details and nerfs. DD's damage and tankiness are toned down just a bit. Devil's in damage from 35 to 25. Wow, that's 10 less damage on the chain in is, wow, that's gonna hurt. Bonus max health from 125 to 100 and reduce Sonic Pursuit damage reduction from 20 to 10. 3 nerf. Wow. I can't say I dislike it though. Daredevil's been kind of like great since he's come out, so I don't hate it. That's noticeable. That's gonna be very noticeable. Wow, okay. Deadpool, Duelist, Dual Pool. Harder to KO, slower to ult, or DPS pool as I like to call it. Survivability is slightly ult and ult frequency is slightly nerfed. So increase base health to 250 to 275. Sure, fair. dual DPS pool is kind of food. He's kind of free eats in terms of kills. And then ult ability cooldown from 45 to 60. I think that's a nice little change. I'm not sure how much it's going to change about DPS pool, but that's a nice little change. Elsa Bloodstone, the one and only. A lot of people were upset with what she was doing, her ult at least. Elsa pays a heavier price upon defeat and her survival. People were recommending this and they did it actually. Reduce instinct lost upon defeat from 1 stack to 2 stacks. So when you die, you're gonna lose, instead of that little bar at the bottom of your screen, you're gonna lose 2 bars instead of 1. That's gonna hurt because that is inherently affecting your cooldowns. Anyways, reduce Ruthless Pursuit and Helix Advanced bonus health from 40 to 30. Sure, I think this will do a decent amount. I think this will definitely hurt her a little bit without killing her. I don't think Elsa Bloodstone is gone. I think Elsa Bloodstone's still gonna be really good. Hawkeye got another nerf. Hawkeye takes a slight hit to his survivability. His base health is now reduced from 275 to 250. I thought Hawkeye was already dead. I thought people weren't even like for real using Hawkeye. Hawkeye got another nerf. He's now a 250 HP target. That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Human Torch, flame on, downtime off, more uptime, more burn. Johnny's ammo recovery is hotter than ever. More tweaks coming in season 7.5, so look out for 7.5. Instantly recover all fire cluster energy after not using blaze cluster for 1 second. So if you don't use his like little thing where you can make a shape on the ground for 1 whole second, you get all your primary fire ammo back. Okay, that's a nice little change. I'm interested to see how that works personally. I'm not gonna lie, if you see some weird cuts, I'm listening to music, I'm not gonna lie, in my ears. Some of the songs that are autoplaying, horrid. Anyways, Iron Man systems online overclock stabilize Tony's staying power and ability field get a boost. Armor overdrive new effect. Each KO with armor overdrive extends its duration by 2 seconds. Reduce armor overdrive startup from 1.8 to, so it starts up faster and each KO. So KO. So when they say KO, this is what really matters too. When I think KO, I think final hit. But you're gonna be getting final hits most likely with armor overdrive. But even still, if they mean elimination, hello, this feels like a Borderlands thing. You get like action skill duration. This is literally like a Borderlands thing. That's insane. That's actually kind of crazy. Now, will this make Iron Man meta? Don't think so. But will it make him great? I think Iron Man's gonna be scary because that armor overdrive hurts, man. Magic sharper feel, fairer poke. It's Ileana. Ileana's poke capacity has been slightly reduced, but enjoys smoother ability execution. Does this mean they're gonna do what I think they do? Increase umbral incursion hitbox radius in both normal. Oh my god. Yes, because now hear me out. Why could the Glartrox pull you in from like 5 feet away, but for Magic's dash, you had to basically like kiss them? I'm not saying Magic's dash should be able to hit you from 5 feet away, but there's got to be a little bit of, it was really unforgiving. They doubled the radius, so that's gonna be so much better. You're not gonna be able to miss that, I don't think. Most likely, if you're anywhere near them, you're not gonna be able to miss it anymore. Reduce normal form magic / max charge damage ratio from 2 to 1.8, so max damage drops about by 9 from 90 to 81. Does that change the one-shot ability? Can you one-shot still? Reduce Dark Child startup from 1 second to 0.8 seconds, so a nice little like 20%-ish, 20% faster. That's gonna be nice. A few times I've played Magic, I do be dying in her old startup. Anyways, Psylocke, butterfly power. Psylocke's capability is slightly increased. Cyanide crossbow cooldown reduction to other abilities from 0.25 to 0.3. Not sure how noticeable that's gonna be, but that's gonna be nice. Increase wing shuriken's damage on throw and return from 8 to 9. I feel like that's gonna hurt because I feel like those things actually low-key be hurting a lot. But 0.25 to 3. So I mean, how much is that gonna change? I guess it might make it like maybe a second faster on average, maybe. I don't know. I'm not doing the math correctly, but that might be nice. I think Psylocke, that's nice for Psylocke. Scarlet Witch, close-up chaos, mid-range management, damage at close, and mid-range is more balanced. Ooh, my voice. Her chaos control, left click, will inflict greater damage upon nearby foes, whilst allowing more frequent use of her Chthonian burst, right click to strike enemies at medium range. Chaos control now has damage fall off. Okay, wow, okay. Starting at 10 meters and dropping to 90% at max range. Holy moly. Increase base damage from 80 to 85 per second and 76.5 at 20 meters. Okay. Increase the charge to Chthonian burst by Cursed Chaos control hits from 0.1 to 0.15. I can't tell you if that's overall better or worse. I think it might feel better. I feel like it might feel better. I don't know, because I remember when Scarlet Witch got a change to this, it like broke and it was like way faster and it like felt really nice and it kind of almost made her like, people were discussing her like being potentially meta, and then they were like, yo, that wasn't intentional. I don't know how much 0.1 to 0.15 is going to change, but it should be nicer. But I don't know, I feel like this is going to overall feel more more damaging to Scarlet Witch, then better. That's just me. Winter Exploder, less splash, more mash. Bucky's range damage gets trimmed. Reduce roster stern spell field damage on hit from 65 to 55. Why the freak does this splash damage do so much? Good God, that splash damage hurts. And you know what? I think that's fair. Why not? I don't know. Me personally, some people really hate Bucky. Me personally, I've never really. I think Bucky's been kind of chill recently. My experience isn't everybody's experience. Strategist pool. Heal pool. Strat pool's ultimate frequency is slightly nerfed to match a new. Okay, that's cool. Gambit. Team buffs redealt. Remy's ultimate buffs for the team are toned down, but team's damage slightly goes up. Okay. Reduce Raging Royal Flush ultimate ability charge acceleration to allies from 30 to 20%. Reduce movement speed boost from 50 to 40%. Increase additional single target explosion damage, enhanced damage ratio to 20 to 25%. So yes, this does hurt. And I know this sounds crazy. I think this might, that extra 5% damage might actually like hurt a lot, bro. Me personally, I don't know. Cause those are some big nerfs to like Gambit's ult. And of course it's gonna come up just less in general. So maybe because of the general nerfs to ult charge. So maybe this will actually make Gambit feel relatively fair to fight against in most scenarios, because sometimes it feels like if you don't have a Gambit, you're low-key thrown, and it shouldn't feel like that. But like that increased damage could do numbers. I'm not sure. I'm just gotta wait and see. Season 7 is really interesting. Invisible Woman, less healing in the fray, better reset out of it. Sue's self-healing during combat is nerfed, but her out of combat recovery gets a boost. Reduce Guardian Shield healing from 25 to 15. Increase healing over time during covert advance from 20 to 30. Okay, so you're gonna be incentivized to double jump a little bit more. However, the Guardian Shield healing, because sometimes, dude, it'd be saving people's lives. That hurts. That's a big change. That's a big healing per second nerf. Luna Snow, idle power now snowballing. Luna's combat prowess is cooler than ever. And they gave her another new effect. Okay. Idle Aura, new effect. Reduce Ice Art's cooldown by 2 seconds whenever a hero with Idle Aura, self or ally takes part in a KO. So 2 things here. A KO, when a self or ally takes part in a KO. So when they say KO, they mean elimination then. Because you can't take part in a, well, I guess you can take part in a final hit, but like that's an elimination if you're taking part in it. That's an elimination. So you're telling me if Luna Snow gets eliminations, Ice Arts, which is, I think the claps. It's the claps. Let me double check that real quick. Yes, Ice Arts is the claps. You get clap cooldown by 2 seconds reduced anytime you or an ally gets a KO, aka I guess a final hit. So if an ally gets a final hit, it's 2 seconds, or if you get a final hit, it's 2 seconds. It could mean that, but takes part in a KO makes it sound like KOs are eliminations, which for one is crazy. For 2, Iron Man's gonna feel like crack. Adam Warlock loses his 15% healing boost. Sad. Jeff will still cause whirlwinds of chaos elsewhere. Is that a hint? No, maybe that is a hint. I don't know. As the team up anchor, White Fox gains 10% increase in healing. Luna Snow unlocks her little thingamajig, which is going to be interesting. When Lightning and Soul, Adam Warlock gains Heavenly Harmony ability with this team up with Storm. Okay, so that was all the patch notes. That's a lot of patch notes. What do I think of this personally? Do I think we're going into a dive heavy season, poke heavy season? What am I thinking? Well, I'm thinking, in all honesty, we're going into a completely new Marvel Rivals. This is season 7 is going to be completely different from probably any other season of Marvel Rivals that we've played. This season 7 might probably feel like season 0 of Rivals. And I say that because season 0 of Rivals was a little bit of a slower-ish pace game compared to now, obviously, but like with a 20% reduction, this is the biggest thing right here. With a 20% ability like usage reduction, Rivals is gonna feel very interesting. It's gonna change a lot of different things. I'm interested to see more like how the game plays rather than what these changes mean for these heroes. I'll give you my like top winner and loser, I guess. My biggest winner from this, low key, it could either be Blade. Hear me out. It could be Blade. I think I might say Blade. I think Blade is my biggest winner from this patch. And then like Magic would probably be honorable mention, because I'm not gonna lie, this little hitbox change literally is so nice, and then the ult startup being 20% faster is also going to be so nice. My biggest loser, honestly, Angela does get hit pretty hard, but in my honest opinion, my biggest loser is Daredevil. Honestly, honorable mention for biggest loser, low-key Hawkeye. That man, I'm not gonna lie, I thought his last nerfs kind of hurt him pretty heavily. This is just this is just a cherry on top. Season 7 of Rivals is probably going to be almost feel like a completely different game, so I'm interested to see what it looks like, and I'm interested to see how it plays and like what changes, what determines a higher rank, because there's a bunch of other changes like the placement matches and stuff and like all that stuff. With the ults being overall slower to come up, I can see a world where ult usage becomes more important than ever. Actually, more of the fights are going to be determined by who makes the right moves in the neutral more, rather than who can get ult first and then who can counter that ult on the other team. But yeah, I'll probably see you guys Friday, Saturday or something, man. I'm going to be playing season 7. Let me know if you want to see me testing out every change, or if you just want to see just what season 7 feels like. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.